day thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow, because we discuss socially relevant things mixed with a splash of humor. If you know you have tissue paper feelings, this probably isn't the channel for you. However, since you're here, I just need for you to do two things. Hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on that little bell so that you get the notification every single time that I go live or upload something new. I'll see you soon. Bye. One of the best parts of life is when you can admit the truth to yourself about yourself. Cyberspace is a world where one can become something he isn't, but everything he dares to be. I wasn't interested in getting attached to anyone, and I knew I wouldn't take anyone I met online seriously. I had multiple screen names to increase my chances of meeting someone attractive. The majority of the profiles noted HIV negative under status, but I knew better from the work I had done in the HIV community. I knew 1 out of 3 black gay men was positive. The messages I found in my inbox validated me in my depression. In some strange way, they reinforced that I was worthy and deserving. My days consisted of waking up and logging on to see how many messages had accrued overnight. Months passed before I got honest with my therapist about what was happening with me. And before I knew it, I heard myself say, I've been having sex with people I meet online. To listen to more of Words Never Spoken in Memoir, visit audible.com. I was involved briefly with a married man who believed he had the courage to leave his wife to be with me and to live his truth. This isn't the typical story of a married man promising to leave his wife for a secret lover. Rather, this is a story in part about a gay man who knew he was gay before he got married, but chose to marry a woman because he didn't know how to break free. Rocky and I met on a gay social media site 3 months after I returned to the East Coast to live, and just 11 months after he was married. At the time we met, he was living and working in Dubai as a contractor for the government on a military base, while his wife was stationed in Tallahassee, Florida, where they had a home. In one of the first messages he sent me, Rocky shared that he was married, but that he had regrets. He explained that he had come out to his mother and siblings when he was 18 years old. He sat them. To listen to more of One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure, a memoir continued, visit audible.com.
Hey girl, hey! Look, all that, hey girl, all that extra throat in there. Hey, right, we're waiting on bartender. I mean, for Christ's sakes, where'd you get your bartending license?
Wait, so is this my drink or is this just
my friend is sitting here with his drink already, and
I think this is a sample.
Is that a sample?
This is a
I had to let him taste it.
All right.
So any bartender that's worth their salt doesn't need to let you taste anything. They just shake and go. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice. Come on, Taro Kiop. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Is there an ice shortage? We don't have any ice.
Well, this is your kitchen.
I mean, and I know we got some ice. How much tequila is he using? That's a brand new bottle.
But I told you I got.
Brian, this is way too strong. What is wrong with you?
Look,
You trying to get into Scott's Coochie?
oh wow.
Scott's Coochie is not available. Brian. What are you trying to do? We were just talking earlier about
Scott does not have like that.
I'm sorry. Scott has a vagina. Scott has a vagina. Look at that hand on the hip. Look at that hand on the hip.
Oh my God.
Just
Did Scott's Coochie are you the booking agent?
no. Come on, Heidi Fly.
Wait, Elliot, what's my fee? I need to know my fee.
I don't know what you're trying to do to us, Ryan. We were just talking about slipping people Mickeys. With these kind of drinks, you don't need nobody to slip you no Mickey.
I'm telling you, I got 18 new chest hairs because of this drink. It's very strong, but I'm not going to complain.
Well,
it's
listen,
a good thing I can't walk home.
right.
Is it good?
It is good, but it's strong.
That's all that matters.
Brand new bottle of tequila over there halfway gone, and it's just 2 of us.
3 of us.
Oh, you made one too. Oh, okay. Anyway, so listen, we are going to be talking about ghosting and catfishing.
Wow.
And the reason why I threw catfishing in there is because Ryan and I went to the gym earlier, and remember earlier I did the live and we were talking about ghosting, and somebody in the comments, I think it was Aaron, somebody said, which worse, ghosting or catfishing? I said, well, to be honest with you, they're close cousins. They're not the same thing, but I think they're in the same family.
Okay, explain. Keep talking.
So like when you're ghosting somebody, yeah, you know who they are.
Right.
But they don't technically show up. And when you're catfishing, you think you know who they are.
Oh, okay.
They're showing up, but they're showing up as somebody else.
Right.
So they're still not really showing up.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's
Ryan,
true.
you're not in the frame.
I see comment.
I know, but you need to be in the frame. It is Fine Nigga Friday. I forgot to tell y'all that too. Anyway. So did you want to start and share your story about how we even came up with discussing this? Because they swear I'll never get nobody a chance to talk.
Do we want to talk about where you and Carlton accused me of participating?
Oh yeah, let's start there.
Okay.
Okay. So Scott is going to share a story.
Go ahead.
No, I want you to set it up. Go ahead.
All right. So I was dating someone a year ago.
That was a year ago, yeah.
We went out on New Year's Eve and we ended up spending like days together. We started dating. And nothing's going wrong. Everything's going great, actually. Mm-hmm. We haven't had sex. We fooled around, but that's it. He wants more.
Now, how long were y'all dating?
Months.
Right.
2 months.
Okay.
I'll say, because it was like, end of February.
Right. And they had not had sex.
Not full sex.
Right. They touched and agreed. They laid and played.
What is that?
What is the time frame? People act like there's a time frame for sex.
Okay, so I'm not one of those prudes, but here's the thing. So that's a really good point, because my thing is I can fuck around all day long, and I'm good at that. I have that down pat. I'm trying to build right. I mean, shit. I'm trying to build something, right? Like I'm trying to get to know this person,
and that's important.
That is important
to know where you are versus where the other person is.
Some people sleep with someone on the second date,
and I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I'm good with that. So, but I wasn't trying to do that with him. I was really trying to date him. So, but I think he's frustrated with us. Sexually frustrated with us not moving forward. But he said something, but he's not fully articulating himself. And so I'm under the impression everything's cool. So he comes to my house, spends the night. He's having some work done on his house, kisses me goodbye, leaves out. I'll call you when the contractor leaves, is what he says to me. I ain't heard from him since.
And that was how long ago?
A year ago.
Now that is the epitome of
and I saw him at a party. And
how long after did you see him? It was like 3 or 4 months or something?
No, it was summertime at this point. It was at least 6 months.
So 6 months later, he runs into him at a party.
And so I'm in my feel, like I clearly in my ego.
And you know how it is when you run into somebody that you used to deal with.
I ain't saying shit to that motherfucker. And literally he's behind me and I'm like, fuck his ass.
What did he say?
He didn't say nothing.
And so the guy is over there looking at Scott.
Yeah, looking.
And Scott is huddled up with his back to the guy.
Telling the story.
Like, what happened. Go ahead.
And my friends are turning around like, right. Yeah. Yeah. So now when I tell this story and I tell it, and I've told it to a few people, and a few people have said what Carlton and Greg said, which is that we ghosted each other. Because I didn't call him and check on him and say, is everything okay? But I also see that he's posting on his Instagram every day. So I know he's okay. Because my friends did encourage me to you should call and check on him and make sure everything's cool. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
So you didn't reach out when he went home?
I did not.
And the guy didn't reach out when he got home.
I did not.
You probably should have reached out.
But Scott's thing is, but he said he was going to call me when he got home.
And what's my number one thing about people in relationships?
Integrity. And doing what you
being
say.
Being a man of your word.
Right.
But sometimes you got to take that initiative and just be like, you know what? If this is what you want.
I agree. And as Scott's friend, who's known him for some time, I know that that's a defense mechanism that Scott has.
Totally is.
So because the guy said, I'm going to call you when the contractors leave, and since he didn't do that, Scott's defense mechanism is to, okay, well,
that's my out.
This is my out. Because he didn't do what he said he was going to do.
To be honest.
Is that why you have sex with him?
Most likely.
Sir, if you're watching this video by chance, this is not...
How you doing?
This is not intended to hurt your feelings.
Not at all. Like, it's not, I mean, any more than it was intended to hurt my feelings that you didn't call me.
Like about it?
Justin said he was supposed to call you.
What didn't you like about it?
I'm not sure. I can't answer that. It's not a one kind of, like, I need somebody that can stimulate. Look.
Here she go. I don't know if y'all can see this, but she got that gay headset on. Go ahead.
I saw you at the corner of my eye. Right. I need somebody that can stimulate me, like mentally, and because I like everything. Like, I'm curious about all kinds of things, and I need somebody that can converse with me on all different topics and keep my mind going.
So let's say he didn't go home. How long would you have let that keep going?
Come on, gay Oliver Van Zandt too.
Okay,
before you said this is not working.
I was still getting to know him. So,
but you just said you weren't that interested, though.
Based on what I knew. So I was willing to give it a few more
to see if it was gonna.
Yeah.
Wait. It's like you're cooking an omelet, but you ain't let this stuff melt.
Wait. Are you in this conversation?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Like, are you going?
It's not good. Hold on, please.
He's on a work call and then told them white people to hold on.
Why they have to be white?
Because I know they are. I just seen his call. Conference calls.
Listen, I don't disagree with any of this. I have always said I have a problem with knowing, because I always feel like, so in the past, I've waited too long because I feel like, okay, we're going to turn the corner. Okay, well, damn.
And it's going to get better.
Right, yeah. So I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt, trying to figure it out.
You were waiting for him to stimulate what? Like, what was that?
I wasn't waiting for him to do anything. I just was sitting back, watching, and I was enjoying my time with him. I was having fun, I have to say. I was having a good time. I just was needing more.
Right. And in his defense, I will say this. I think it is important to sometimes wait a little, because it was only 2 months. And even though he said he wasn't that interested, there is a such thing as getting off the train too soon. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we throw it away too quickly. Like Leonard and I had a conversation one day, and he said, looking back over some of the opportunities or situations that he was in where he was dating different people, there have been instances where he looked back now, hindsight is always 2020, but he said, I look back and I realized that some of those things I probably got off too quickly. I could have fought for a little harder, or did a little bit more, or waited a little bit before I jumped off.
And honestly, Ryan, I was not conscious of the fact that I wasn't that interested until this happened, and I was not willing to go chase after him because I felt like that was a sign for me that I wasn't that interested, because if I were, I would have fought for him. Right.
So if you were having such a good time with him, would you have kept him as a friend? Were you having a good time as a friend, or were you just having a good time?
I was having a good time as a friend with the potential of being more than a friend.
And I will say this, because Scott said they were dating for like 2 months. Like, they were spending nights together.
Right.
He would go over to his house and vice versa.
Right.
They were making breakfast and watching movies. Like, they had gotten to the point where Scott would be in one room watching something on TV and the guy might be reading or something in the other room. So it wasn't where it was just like, so you could see the buildup.
Right.
But here's the thing too. I do think, because I was in defense the first time of Scott, but I think on the other side of it, he probably was sexually frustrated, and he probably perceived you not having sex with him as you not being interested.
There's no probably. He said that to me outright, verbatim. He said, "I'm starting to take that personally, that you're not interested." We have an audience member
because you haven't had the full gusto.
That's right.
Right.
But you did do things with him.
Yes.
So why would he think you're interested?
Why would he think I wasn't interested? Right. I don't know. And I said that to him. I was like, first of all, at my age, at our age, because he's the same age, it's like, I don't have niggas up in my house or spend time with people that I'm not interested in. I don't have to do that.
Right.
Like, I can go get dick and ass anywhere. Like, I don't care. Like,
that should have been your proof that I was interested.
Right.
Is that I'm spending time. I'm letting you come over. You're spending.
This is Atlanta.
Yeah, we're sleeping over together. But here's the thing: some people gauge your interest in sex.
You're right.
Based on sex.
Well, not only gauge your interest, but gauge their own self-worth and attractiveness and all that other crap.
Like, well, if he's not having sex with me,
We have a question.
I'm not sex.
Hold on, audience member. What was that last thing you said?
I agree. If he's not having sex with me, then I must not be attractive enough.
That's right.
That's what you're telling
That's
yourself.
That's
okay, what did you want to say, Nadine?
Paulette, the question is, have you ever thought about it from his standpoint? People, as you have said, self-confidence and maybe he didn't feel that you were attracted to him because it wasn't. Some people feel like if you're not doing what you call it love language, without expressing that love language, then there's something wrong with me that I'm not giving you what you want. Even though we're having a good time, something is missing.
I don't disagree with that.
And maybe he needed confirmation from you that I'm enjoying you. I'm enjoying the sex. I'm enjoying everything that we're doing. Just because you're of a certain age doesn't mean everybody's on that same level.
I don't disagree with that. But okay, so what, besides my own words that I gave to him, what else was I supposed to do?
Right.
Did you guys have an open conversation about the attractiveness to each other and how you feel about each other? Even though it was the beginning of a new experience.
Yes.
And was there any objection to what was said?
No, not that I knew of.
Was there any confirmation to I agree with you or we need to discuss anything further?
I don't remember.
But here's the thing, and of course he's not here to give what he was really thinking and feeling. But we also got to factor in a person's insecurities. Maybe he was insecure.
Well, everybody is insecure at some
capacity, right? Yeah. But so,
how did you meet him?
Okay, well.
What you looking at me for?
I'm trying to figure out, like,
did you want to plead the fifth?
No. It's nothing, shady or cringy or anything like that. But I'm trying to figure out, because am I supposed to shout this person out?
No, not him.
Because they have a business. Like,
well, how did you meet him?
Through the business.
Oh, you met him through his business. Okay.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, not his business, this other person's business. It's Lamont, the dating coach. That's
okay. They met through the dating coach.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that conversation led us
down that road.
Really. So that leads us to our next part of the conversation when we get into the ghosting part, which I was saying to Scott. Scott just experienced this whole ghosting thing this week. And I was saying to Scott, I said, here's the thing. You can't take that personally because it has happened to the best of us. I don't care how in season you are or think you are. It happens to the best of us. And I had just had a conversation with my friend Randy about a couple months ago. And he was like, Craig, it is like so hard. Like this, he said, these kids in Atlanta are really, and again, I'm not a person that thinks that it's specific to geography.
No.
Like Randy was, it's not. Randy was like, oh my God, these kids in Atlanta, they're just so different. But that ghosting thing is just a thing. Women experience it, gay and straight.
Yeah.
Gay men experience it, straight and gay. And men definitely experience, straight men experience it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what I want to know is, and I guess I have ghosted before. I'm trying to think. Because it's easy to think about how you've been experiencing.
I totally have. I absolutely have. And I've ghosted, and to Ryan's point, like, well,
that's why you got what you got this week, because you've ghosted before.
Karma.
Which you point out has to come back.
But wait, so it's not the first time it's happened to me. Like, I mean, I don't ghost on the whole. Like, like if I'm not that interested. Like, I mean, when we talked the other day about the guy with the full set of nails that was asking for my number, you asked me, did I give him the wrong number? That's a form of ghosting too, right? Like,
well, that's a form of ghosting / catfishing.
That ain't catfish.
No.
Well, listen. So some guy was trying to talk to Scott, and he had a full set on his fingers. And look, no judgment to the girls who do that. I don't mean the females. I mean the girls, the children.
But he had on like a baseball cap and like a jersey, and then a full set. And I'm like, wait.
So he was half in drag and half out.
Right. It's like you got on a sweater and flip flops. Like, which are you cold or you hot?
Are you cold or you hot?
Shit.
I don't know what it's gonna be.
Were you at dinner?
No, we were at Loretta's.
You remember Loretta's?
No.
And it was originally Loretta's, and then it became 708.
This wasn't him, was it?
I don't. No, I don't think so.
You a mess. Now he got a full set of nails on, and you would zoom in.
I'm trying to see.
I brought that up because I saw this picture and I was just like, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture?
Right. He's so rugged until you get to them nails.
And look at the eyebrows.
Oh, I see. Now listen, this is not to diminish the gays that are interested in nails and eyebrows and things. Listen, okay?
No, and so to clarify that, because I've been attracted to trans people, so it has nothing to do with any of that. Like this was just like it threw me. Like it was contradictory.
Right.
All right.
So Scott and another gentleman were talking, and they decided they were going to meet for a drink.
Not just we've been talking for over a year, and
just messaging on.
No, we not just messaging.
Oh, you talked on the phone.
We've spoken on the phone. We have texted.
They met on Instagram.
We met on Instagram.
Oh, the DM.
We have mutual friends, gay and straight, that know both of us. And so I went to New York this week. I sent him a text message last week, and it said, I said, like, I'll be in New York for 2 days, and let's try to get together, maybe have a drink or go to lunch or something. And his response was, yes, please.
Oh, I saw the text. So that's what it said.
Right. And so it was very emphatic, like, yes.
Please, let's make this happen.
Right. And I said, sounds good. I'll touch base when I get settled. So I speak to him on the phone Sunday. I spoke to him on the telephone.
Past Sunday.
And we were talking, trying to figure out where we were going to meet.
Logistics, right.
Yes. So he had to go because his help desk was calling about his computer. And I said, okay.
Why you bring the rug back that you just said that?
That's the same rug?
This is the same rug.
Just leave it right there. Have to go.
Why did they bring it up?
I don't know.
Maybe you did the label wrong. Like
did you put a label on it?
Sending it back to yourself.
Yeah, this is supposed to be going to 207 Marvin Miller Road.
Right. Why did they send it here? That's the one I just dropped off yesterday. Okay, we'll get to it. Okay, go ahead.
So we talked on Sunday. He had to go because his help desk was calling about his computer. We hung up. He said, I'll call you back. Then he didn't call me back. So I get to New York. I'm doing my thing. I didn't hear from him the first night, which is the night we had talked about possibly meeting for a drink. Because he had a thing, I had a thing. We didn't speak. So Wednesday morning at 8:30, I sent him a text that said, good morning. And he didn't respond. So I talked to you because you two know each other. And you said, well, he's been liking my posts.
On Instagram.
And I was like, okay. So then today, you send me a text asking me about doing this. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, why is this motherfucker on, like, watching my Instagram story?
So the guy has been, so even though he never responds, so Scott was in New York for 2 days. He went to see a couple plays. He said Jesse Williams has a really nice piece.
Oh my God.
Jesse Williams from Grey's Anatomy had a nude scene in this stage play, and Scott was on row H. He said he saw every vein. And listen, but at any rate, Scott went up there to see a stage play, at 2 stage plays. And so when Scott came back, I was like, well, did you ever talk to the guy? Did you ever get together? He said, no, I never heard from him. Well, then Scott shows me a screenshot today of his own Insta story, and the guy is just watching his story from when he was in New York, since he's been back.
And what's crazy is I don't even look at people who are looking at my. I just happened to mistakenly swipe up and see who was looking at, because I was trying to do something else, and I saw his face, and I was like, he's watching my story. And then I went to look to see how many of my stories. He watched all of them,
but hasn't returned a call or a text. Lenny said, block him.
And that's exactly what I told him.
That's what he said.
I said, why give him access to your life?
I don't want to be.
I don't think you should either.
I don't want to be like, so whatever he's doing, I'm not trying to go. I'm not trying to be there with him. Right. Because I'm really not mad about anything. So I don't have a reason to block him. He hasn't done anything egregious to me. Like I just don't understand. And that's what I said to you. It's like, so my issue is this: people who do this kind of stuff, like, they don't understand the physics of it, because we all are bundles of energy. Yeah. And when you do some shit like that, you have now put your energy onto me.
And now I'm sitting at home trying to figure out what's wrong with me.
And I'm dealing with my insecurities, my inadequacies.
And now they amplify
and all of this crap. And, I'm figuring out, well, what did I do? What did I say?
And you sitting at home going through my Insta story, not even thinking about it.
basically. And so it's just not, and so that's like a ball that just gets created for some nonsensical bullshit that you, just because you don't have the balls to articulate or even tell me a lie. Shit, make up something. I would know. I mean,
right.
So
That's true.
So for me, I just feel like sometimes it speaks to a person's emotional maturity, or or even EQ. You know how there's IQ
and emotional
and then there's
intelligence.
EQ, emotional intelligence, and I just don't think that everybody has that.
I agree.
You know,
I agree. But it's also interpersonal skills. Like, are you able to articulate what's going on with yourself? And, you know, are you scared? Like, whatever it is, I don't really know. But it really takes 2 seconds to say, hey, I can't make it. Something came up. Because I understand anybody that has a job, anybody that has a life, understand life happens.
Yeah. Things change
all the time. Like, okay, and nobody can get mad. Well, they can get mad at you, but they're probably crazy.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know, but I don't like how I'm feeling.
That's what I was going to ask you. So what is
you have to think about? He's long distance, number one.
Right.
Some people do that long distance stuff, and then they ghost people.
Yeah,
that's coming to their town. You know, or once you're going to meet the long distance, they can have communication with you. You know, blah blah blah. Then.
Yeah.
So do you think is that about like what we were talking about? Is the chase?
I'm talking to this guy in Atlanta, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Because sometimes it's validation.
But we weren't even talking on that level. Like, we were just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. It was basically a meeting a friend.
Yeah.
Could be catfish.
Well, no, but we know mutual people.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I want you to talk about, you said how you're feeling and all of that. But before we get into that, you and I had a conversation yesterday when we were discussing doing this live, because I think this ghosting thing is a phenomenon that everybody experiences. Again, no matter what demographic you fall in, whether you're male, female, gay, straight, whatever, I think everybody, and if you haven't experienced, keep living. But I think it speaks to, when I said to you yesterday, we were talking about this long distance thing. I think there are some people that are comfortable with the idea of dating somebody in a different city. I've heard so many people say, oh, you know, and I don't care what city you live in. I've heard so many people say, well, I just think that the person I'm supposed to be with is long distance. It ain't nobody in this city that I want to date, especially if you're talking about Atlanta. People are like, oh, like the guy I'm dating, he don't live here. He lives somewhere. Why does it seem like all of the good ones are somewhere else? I don't think that the good ones are somewhere else. I think whatever you're looking for is also looking for you.
That's right.
And I also think that for some people, they use this long distance thing as a defense mechanism of sorts, because you can't get but so emotionally connected when you're long distance.
Unless you have a private jet or something.
Exactly. Yes, you can get emotional ties, absolutely. But what I'm saying is you still have that threshold, because he lives over here, or she lives way over there in California and I'm in Atlanta. It allows you
an easy out,
the space, the latitude to kind of wiggle out of it, not have to deal with the heavy emotional lifting that comes with a relationship, because you never really get to that, because you're over there and I'm over here, and I only see you once a month or every 6 weeks,
or just talk to you on the phone,
or on FaceTime. And I think for some people that's really comfortable, and they prefer to have that. And it's a way to navigate around rejection. It's trying to protect themselves from rejection.
But I also, the flip side of that is that you don't get to choose how love comes to you and what package or the geography, none of that. Like, so if it happens, like you could be in the airport and that person could be on their way to Taiwan. You don't get to choose that when it happens for you and where this person is.
The lady I bought my coffee table from sold her house here because she said, wasn't no man, the meat market for men is unavailable. It's like 25 girls to one guy.
It is something.
So she went back to her hometown of Fairfax, Virginia, to have a better shot at dating.
Okay. So that's why she moved.
That's why she moved. Sold her house, everything.
And so, I believe that sometimes a change of scenery does something to your energy and makes you more open. Maybe, you know, possibly because you've told yourself this story or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and like, I started telling myself a story today based on this situation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get into it because I'll be on here crying, and I'm not trying to.
But that's okay. They love all of that. They love all of that.
Yeah.
But no, go ahead.
So a part of this, like, you know this about me. Like, I have run from being like a sensitive person. I didn't like it because I felt like it was, it was emasculating, or it made me feel weak. And whereas the truth is, I am a sensitive person. I'm a sensitive spirit, and my feelings were hurt by this.
Yeah. And that's okay though. And that's why I said to you yesterday, Scott, it's okay to feel some kind of way, because like I said, I've had it happen to me. My friend Ryan has had it happen to him. My friend Randy just told me. He said, Craig, I had to shake it though. He said, because I was like really bothered. Like, well, what's going on? Like, well, why did he reject me? Why wasn't he interested in me? Why wasn't I enough? But I think what's really beautiful is that sensitivity that you've ran from for so long. It's a part of who you are. You know what I'm saying? And similarly, I'm not a sensitive person, but
no, you are not.
And
look,
wait a minute.
We got 3 in the amen corner that just said amen.
Look, he looked that way. Elliot over here.
I think I'm working on me. You are definitely
I'm not a sensitive. Can I finish my thought? So I'm not a sensitive person, but I'm a person who loves love, right? And so I've always been like this hopeless romantic, and I've always been.
That's true. You are.
Yeah, and I've always been this person that always tried, even in the dating scenario, I've always tried to go the extra step. Like how you would be like, oh, I ain't calling him. He said he was gonna call me. I ain't calling. I would have been the one that would have called. Hey, what's going on? I didn't hear. You know what I mean?
You also have challenged me, like, you should call.
Yeah.
You push people outside of their comfort zone.
Because a friend of mine said to me, "Why are you worrying about what he's thinking about what you're doing?"
Right.
Because before I used to be like, well, I don't want to call again because I don't want him to be thinking like, well, damn, he sure seemed desperate.
Right.
Fuck what he's thinking. Do what you want. You understand what I'm saying? But then, and I used to beat myself up about that, about being a person who tried so much. But and even in terms of relationships and love, like I would get up and try again after I've healed. But the thing is, I thought about it and I was just like, but Craig, that's the beautiful part about you, is that you haven't lost hope. Or faith in love and in relationships, that you're willing to try again. What were you saying?
I was going to say that what's funny about that is that you actually texted me and said, okay, now you can be done. Whereas I said, I might text him this weekend and just say, sorry we didn't get to connect. Right. And hope all is well.
I wouldn't text the motherfucker nothing.
Because you already put it out there, I wouldn't text him.
Here she comes.
I can agree with Scott, but that's taking the high road to show that you're bigger than what he is. Because when people get that petty, that they're doing such childish things, sometimes that's cathartic for you, as well as release for you to say, I am going to move on by releasing these feelings I have for that person. Say, sorry we didn't meet. Hopefully all is well, and you move on.
Well, I didn't have feelings for him, but I just am trying to be more. I'm just trying to be more receptive. And just be more open.
Well, when I say feelings, maybe I said the wrong word. It's more so your internal feelings to say this is a form of release.
Right.
What happens if he starts communicating again?
Oh, I'm not interested in that. Like
a lot of times that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's his closure.
Yeah, I'm not.
The boy might start.
Then, baby, that's his closure.
I'm not.
But then, are you going to ghost him?
Oh wow.
First of all, his ass need to be blocked, so he couldn't contact me no way.
I wouldn't go. I don't have
to start the conversation again.
Not necessarily. Go ahead, Scott.
Wait, what did you say?
Let's say, for instance, you say, I hope all is
well,
right. Blah blah blah.
It does. Now that you say that, it leaves an opening for him to start back up.
What if he does say, something came up?
I probably would respond like, okay, well, best of luck to you. I wish you well. Blah blah blah. Is that
You talk to Craig. There's the say. Think about what we're
your face. Your face is like,
best of luck. I wish you well.
That's the human resources in me.
Don't listen to Craig.
Best of luck. I wish you well in your search.
I don't know. For me, right. For me, I would just be wanting to know, like, well, what happened to you? You're like, you said,
I don't give a shit. It's over and done with at this point.
He wants to know the story.
Yeah. Well, see, for me, I feel like I'm gonna hold your ass over the fire. Because if what happened?
But so here's the thing. So this is where my protective stuff comes in, right? Because if it's something really silly that is so like menial, I would really be all the more hurt, right? So at this point, ignorance is bliss for me. Like I'm not really, but kind of, right? Like I don't need to know all the details.
Right.
So I understand that, because then you start questioning yourself, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I don't want to know that, because as far as you're concerned, you haven't done anything wrong, because you haven't.
I haven't done anything wrong, but I still am dealing with this energy that he's projected onto me.
But that he's left, that he's deposited and just kind of left.
Yeah.
And I was saying to you, I think it was, it's just, or maybe it was you. It was like that, it's that Jasmine Sullivan song, Girl Like Me, where she says, now I'm sitting at home judging my body.
Right.
No, he ain't judging his body, but you judge yourself on whatever insecurity that you have. Right.
Replaying the phone conversation. What did I say?
Yeah.
You know,
did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
When a lot of times it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
You know,
and I realize, like, logically, I understand that.
But that doesn't take away
that's right.
the little sting
So
that it
would
gives
you prefer to talk to the guy in New York or the one who ghosted you here? Which one would you prefer to have a communication with?
The two of them motherfuckers could go somewhere else.
Right.
They need to be in Alabama and build a house. I don't know.
Okay. So have you been ghosted before?
Yeah, many a time.
Did it make you feel some kind of way?
It did. You know, it hurt.
And even if you haven't really built a solid connection, it still kind of stings.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're just like, well, damn, especially if you all hopeful.
Right.
Then you come back around. They come back around and be like, well, I was going through something.
Right. Because they usually will come back and be like, well, I was kind of going through something. And that's what I said to Scott yesterday, too. Again, when we were getting ready to do this, I was saying to Scott, those of you that read my first book, you know the story of Salim. That's his character's name in the book.
I almost said his real name.
Right. I almost said it too. But he and I dated, and he was HIV positive, right? I had no issue with that. I was willing to continue dating him, but he was in a space where he had just found out, and he was just like, oh, this was 1999, so we had less information than we have now. And he was just like, yeah, but even if we use condoms, I would always be nervous that you would come back infected and I would not be able to live with myself. So he broke us up, right? And then he and I became friends. And as we became friends, like we would share like different dating scenarios. I would tell him about certain guys that I was talking to, and he would tell me about different things. And because he was still very, very new in his diagnosis, he still hadn't reconciled like dating anybody or anything. Like he was still in that space of, oh, I'm gonna die soon and no point in getting connected with anybody. And so what happened was, I remember him sharing with me when he first started liking certain guys, or he noticed that they were liking him, he would immediately put the brakes on. He would ghost them. It wasn't called ghosting at the time, but that's what he was doing.
Right.
And so like if he met
self-preservation, because he's trying to preserve his heart, because he has a mindset that he's going to die soon. And so I don't want to build something that I know is not going to last, because that's going to hurt me more than it's probably going to hurt him.
And the other thing too was, in addition to that, it was he didn't want to have to disclose.
Yes.
He didn't want to have to tell anybody that he was positive.
But it's also tied to his self-worth. Like he doesn't feel worthy.
Well, he's already put himself in the grave based on him having a disease that does not mean he has to
be terminal.
Correct.
He was already in a deep depression too from your
Absolutely.
Yeah. He never forgave himself.
That's right.
For becoming positive,
That's
right? And so, like, he would tell me, he was like, yeah, I met this guy, he seems like a really nice guy, but he wasn't open. He wasn't allowing himself to be open. And he was just like, yeah, I can tell he likes me. He would tell me this, like, we'd be talking. And he said, he said, but I'll just ignore his calls. And eventually they stop calling, or they'll text or whatever. And he said the same thing happened if it was somebody that he really started to like, he would just vanish. And so I say all that to say, I realize now, 20 years later, that sometimes when people ghost you, you don't know what's going on in their life. I'm not saying that it necessarily has to be HIV, but somebody could have just lost their mom. They could have just lost their job. They could have just lost their house. Like any circumstance could be going on in their life, and they just don't have the courage to say to you, I'm going through something right now. I'm in a season. I'm in a storm. Or maybe they're just some old fuck nigga.
But here's the thing.
It could be anything.
But my thing is this. If you're open to dating someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are putting yourself out there, you're talking to, you're doing whatever. Mm-hmm. We're always, every day of our lives, we're going through something.
Absolutely.
if you wake up and see tomorrow and breath is in your body, you are going to be going through something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just not an excuse to me anymore. Like you are always dealing with some shit.
Well, it's not so
But then you have to
some people just are not strong enough to handle life. I'm gonna give you an example. People who've been incarcerated for a certain amount of time.
Oh my God, you just went to the far extreme.
I'm going there because, like you said, every day that's not an excuse. Sometimes that's a way of life because they're so accustomed to somebody telling them how to do it, when to do it, where to do it, and why to do it, that when they come on the outside, they do things to get back in because they cannot adjust to life. So for some people, every day is a different day that they don't have that strength to say, I just can't do it today. And I don't
because they lack structure.
Structure. Sometimes they just like, I'm in a state of mind that I don't want to fight anymore. We have those days.
Oh, trust me, I know that.
I'm not Dr. Phil by any means because I'm like Craig in the sense that he said, "Come on, grow up, get over." But then sometimes,
and I don't. So wait, so just so we're clear, like, and if that's how that's coming across, I'm not meaning it like that.
No. I'm just saying that's
because Craig will like I attempted suicide and I talk very openly about it, so I understand that. So I totally get that. You know, some days you just don't have it in you to fight anymore. I also don't feel like I don't wallow in. I try to be better every single day that my feet hit the floor. Yeah. I try to make better decisions.
And why are you that way now where you were not that way before?
I think that it taught me something, honestly. Like it taught me that I have friends and family that care about me, and it's my job to let them care about me.
Yes!
But you have reached that level of maturity within yourself by going through that experience. As Craig and Ryan said, we don't know where they are mentally. We don't know where they are. Even though they present a nice package, inside that package, like that rug over there, baby, it's ripped to shreds.
Well, I'm going to stop looking for some fucked up packages and shit.
But no, that was really good what you just said. And you said that to me before in conversations about
I don't want no build-up package.
Allowing people to take care of you.
I'm going to go into the old Raggedy bin and get a $2 package.
Especially to the ladies. Like, you got to allow people to take care of you. You know, and the thing that I say that's similar to that is...
that's my downfall.
What's that?
Letting somebody help me.
So
it's everybody.
Why am I in this?
Well, you don't want to walk down here.
That's mine.
But a part of taking care of yourself is telling people what you need.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been trying to figure you out, to try to help you. And the same thing with this one, like next Tuesday.
But when you get to be a certain age and you're used to, and for me, like I'm an only child,
right?
I'm not, and admittedly, I'm spoiled, but I'm not selfish, but I am, spoiled and used to doing things my way. And so it's difficult for me to allow somebody else to come and do something for me. And so literally, like when I've had boyfriends in the past, I have to leave the room when they're doing something because I can't watch, because I'm quick to be like, why are you?
You want to do it this way.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Same thing with driving. Like when you ride in the car with somebody and you like, Carlton does this. Well, why didn't you go to, did you want to drive? We could have taken your vehicle. Let me drive the way that I'm going. I don't like to be managed. Gladys does that. She was trying to tell me, well, turn this way. She don't do it here, but when we at home in Baltimore, she was trying to tell me, I'm like, well, if you wanted to drive a certain way, why didn't you get behind me? Because I could have sat over here in the passenger side.
My mom used to do that.
Oh my God, it eats me alive.
Where you drive?
Now say it again, Ryan. Because he is a side street driver.
We're talking about ghosting and catfishing.
I'm scared for people on the sidewalk.
Oh my God. But like, so I've been ghosted too. Like I said, it's happened to, I don't know anybody that it's not happened to.
It happened to me. Then that person, I took the avenue that Scott just suggested. I hope all is well for you. Sorry we didn't get to connect, because I was like Craig. I was a split between the two. I was a little saying, I don't know what happened, but I hope everything is okay. Then I was like Craig, I don't know what you. What happened?
Well, where were you?
Exactly.
Because I'm trying to hold you. I'm trying to hold you accountable.
Right.
Somebody say y'all up in there looking like black gay golden girls. I'm here for it.
I guess if you feel like you've invested something in that person,
right?
Then you want to know what happened.
Yeah, your time is that investment. I don't care if it's 2 hours. I took the time, like you said, to come this far, not intentionally for you, but I blocked out some time to spend with you.
Yeah.
And how dare you? That's what we're saying to ourselves.
Yeah.
Do this, and there is no justification or no type of explanation.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take the higher road. I wish you all the best of luck. Then, if, like Ryan said, he answers your reply.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't send that because I don't want that. I don't want to
open up the door again. The engagement.
It's going to open up.
Yeah.
It will reopen.
And even if he watches this, he might reach out.
Well, he's gonna watch it if he watching your DMs.
True.
But here's the thing too, and one of the things that I want, especially ladies, to recognize, it's okay to hold people accountable. And I know a lot of times people won't hold a person accountable because they feel like the connection is so fragile. And if I say something, it's gonna run him away or so scare him away. So say for instance he did call or whatever, and you didn't even say, well, hey, I was in New York the other week. Like, what happened? Like, if you never said that, and you
it's
just
permissive. I'm giving him permission. I'm sending him the message that that's okay to treat me like that.
Absolutely,
and it's not.
Absolutely. Because my thing is, if it disintegrates, if it falls apart and it scares the person, then that wasn't what you wanted in any way.
Yeah.
But you also have to have an open mind, Scott. If that person comes to you and give you an explanation, how receptive are you to listen to that explanation without saying you're a damn lie or you're judging the explanation?
Oh no. I'm past that. Like I can sit and listen to somebody all day, but because one thing about me, I'm very clear about who I am, who I'm not, who I'd like to be, and who I'll never be.
Right. Come on, somebody. Give it to me again. Give it to me again. What is it again? Scott is a Gemini, by the way. They ask him what's your sign. He's a June Gemini.
I'm clear about who I am, who I'm not, who I want to be, and who I'll never be.
I'm with him on that. I'm that way in the workforce.
And so you can talk to me about stuff, and I will sit there and listen with an open mind and make a decision about how I want to operate. Like, and that's I'm very comfortable in my skin at 54 years old. Like I'm not dealing with any of that bull crap that I used to deal with.
As long as you're willing to listen.
That's one of the beautiful things about age. You become more of who you are. You don't care about that shucking and jiving.
But some people are like, why tell my problems when they don't care anyway? They're not gonna listen.
Yeah.
I would listen. I totally.
A tree fell on my house. Do you really care?
Well, actually, I do. I would follow up and say, "Are you okay? I'm sorry to hear that. Is everything okay?"
I'm saying, if he said that,
I would care.
Well, sir, if a tree fell on your house, why were you all on Instagram looking at the Insta stories and stuff?
And why
you didn't have time to send me a message when you were on Instagram?
Right? Like, why couldn't you just say, "Hey"?
But stop.
I'm dealing with some home issues.
I thought I was gonna be able to see you this week.
But stop. Stop right there. Listen to what Ryan said. If he says a tree fell on my house, do you really care? You said, yes, I do care.
I care.
But then you have that subconscious thing, well, motherfucker, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you respond? And you just went into it, but you're listening at my Instagram. So that tree must not have
No, Craig said that. I didn't say that. I didn't say he was looking.
Well, that's what I said. Well, my thing is, if a tree fell on your house and you ain't had time to send me a message to say, hey, we can't get together, but you got time to be on my Insta story.
So that means you don't believe it.
I don't. And if you on my Insta story, then you could have simply sent me a message like, hey,
what you gonna do?
Come look at the tree on my house?
Exactly.
I don't want to see the motherfucking tree on your house. What I'm saying is, if you said to me, a tree fell on my house, but you're still on my Insta story, while you're there on my Insta story, you could have just sent me a note.
Yeah.
But my thing is with him, with the guy, in this particular scenario, my thing is, what if he's in a relationship? What if they had broken up, but then right as you were in New York City, they started trying to make amends? Like, that's what I'm saying. I gave the scenario of somebody that I dated who was HIV positive and he ghosted people because of that. But my thing is, it could be any type of scenario. And so my thing is, free yourself of thinking, oh, it's about me, or, taking it personally. It's hard to do that.
I want
to know why this one ghosted somebody.
Oh, you ghosted somebody? I'm sure I have too. I can't think of it right now, but
you would see.
I'm very much like Scott, and as you get older, in everything, relationships, family, jobs. I'm that way now because I'm to the point where I'm telling people, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do.
Right.
So
We
don't
already
put me
know
in that
that.
situation. Work-wise, because some people come in with that situation where, well, I need my job.
You do that work
kiss
and
my
personally.
ass. How,
Now, why people got to kiss your ass?
because I'm not bothered.
So wait.
Go to the original.
I know. When did you go somebody? And how did you go? We got called and texted.
Mm-hmm.
And you
It
just
was somebody who, you give me a story, and I believe what you tell me because we're meeting for the first time. That child had that thing called a wife.
They had what?
He had a
That
wife.
thing called a wife.
The man had a wife.
Oh wow.
See, but you didn't tell that side of the story because the wife was out of town up on the meeting when we met.
Oh wow.
And we met at a mutual friend's house, and the mutual friend did not know that they were married either because they gave a reception.
Oh wow.
And this was after
So that was
a month
catfishing and
of getting,
ghosting.
of getting to know somebody.
Somebody said, "Damn that tree, block him." somebody said, no matter what he says, set your boundaries and move on. But he had a
So
wife.
that's why I ghosted him, because
So
the
he was
conversation
catfishing
stopped.
and
Then they pick
ghosted.
up. Then you get calls and there's a whisper. Wait a minute, John, why are you whispering?
Right.
And it all, you have to put the pieces together.
Right.
And then I did what Scott did. Look, stop calling. I wish you the best. Enjoy your life. The wife was pregnant, so that was the excuse.
Oh my God, this is getting worse and worse.
That sounded like that pastor that was fucking on Twitter the other day.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? Dwayne what?
Pastor Dwayne.
Wait, what? I don't know
This pastor was fucking this
Oh,
boy.
are
the
you
other
ready to
day.
show me?
I'm about to show you.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It don't make no sense. And that man was fucking that boy raw, and he ain't got a wife.
Ain't got a wife.
Ain't got a wife.
Oh my God.
And with children.
When's the last time you were ghosted?
Wow.
2014.
Okay, so can we ask, like, if there are people out there that have done this, like, why they've done this? Like,
That's
I'm
the
curious, like, what is the reason that, or the purpose, or do you have like, is there a goal in mind? Like, are you about trying to catch somebody and you just want to see if you can, and then you want to go somewhere with somebody?
Then she said, "Child, I'm supposed to be cooking dinner, but I'm listening to y'all eating popcorn." I know that's right, Simply Shonda. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know why. Like, why people do this.
Right. So, so those of you that are watching, why do you do that? Like in the instances where
If you've done it,
if
like-
you've done it, and you've actively done it, why did you ghost somebody actively
Or purposefully.
or purposely?
Yeah.
So the masked trans says, "I used to block, but I don't block them anymore. I like to hear them grovel when they come to their senses. Then I ghost them." My God, today.
So is that just about like wanting to see if she can catch, or I'm assuming he, I don't know. Anyway,
Right.
wanting to see if they can catch the person and then they ghost them?
Right, like it's almost like you said to me yesterday. It's
It's
almost
the
like
chase.
it's the chase. And once they realize that they have access to you, they can
And
get
they
you.
gonna grovel and chase behind you.
Right.
Then it's
and
like,
then
okay.
they disappear.
Right.
Oh no.
That's it. Oh yeah,
one
that's
of-
it.
It's many out there. This is
Yeah,
just one of
he's
them.
fucking that boy raw.
Wow. Is that hearing it?
I don't know where that happened.
That's a split screen.
That don't make no sense. That's the pastor. Look, he getting his dick sucked. And ain't nothing wrong with him getting his dick sucked, but it's a problem when you
This is
marry
just
and-
one. This is a mild one. There's other ones that I have to show you where it's showing, like Craig said.
We'll show
actually
after
getting
the live.
worse.
It's
And look at
right.
Scott.
It's one where he fucking that boy, the boy on his knees. He said, "Come on, hurry up."
Does he know that he's being
Yeah,
filmed?
He said they looking at the camera.
The boy had the only face.
And the boy says to the pastor, he says, "Hurry up and come." He said, "'Cause you know you gotta get home to your wife."
On the what?
He did.
He's aware.
Okay,
Wait, do people know his wife? Like, have they?
I think people ghost because it is to see if they can get them once they do. Right, what we were just
Yeah.
saying. Yes, Craig, it is the thrill of the chase. Yeah, I agree.
I think so.
Well,
I
people
don't like
ghosted
to
before that. Ghosting is
don't.
now a technology. because
I
it's
don't
now
either.
technology.
I've never been a chase person.
I'm not either.
I don't
I don't even want to be
You
chased.
do?
Mhm.
Like,
I'm not a
if
chase.
somebody's,
I like to be
if
chased.
somebody's
I
that,
don't like to be chased.
I do.
I don't
because
like
I'm
to
in
be
control of the chase.
But you like that. You like to control anyway.
I'm a control freak.
What's
He
your
liked
sign?
it.
I'm a Libra.
chase. Listen to him.
He does. Too.
what? Why were people asking my sign? Does that tell them something?
I don't know. I don't know. Why did y'all want to know Scott's sign?
It's a different one.
I don't know.
Because you give a crazy Gemini.
What? Why I gotta be nice?
Says the Aries.
Stop the man.
Says the Aries.
Aries are so nice.
Well, Aries can be a little freaky and a little mentally freaky.
My dad's an Aries.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. This ghosting thing is serious, and it's just like people will jump on your DMs, or they'll, you'll meet them somewhere, and then they act like they're so interested. But like my thing is, it's interesting how we, the person that was ghosted, go directly to, well, what happened to me? Like, what's wrong with me? Da-da-da. And it's not always that. Like, it really, sometimes it's about, most times it's about them.
So I'm gonna get philosophical for a minute.
Okay.
So I think I just had an epiphany.
Are you making another cocktail?
No. You want another one?
I sure would.
Oh, but you were talking about it.
But I mean, I would like a little more lime squeezed in mine. Look, he just cut the limes and put them in here. But can I actually have some lime juice? And actually, I could use these limes here since they weren't squeezed before.
Oh my God.
Anything else?
Yeah, some fresh ice.
Give me that some.
No, I'm actually okay. Okay, thank you.
Somebody said, well, so much for Scott and Elliot going on a date. He's a control freak. Well, who said they were trying to go on a date? Okay.
Elliot is a control.
Thank you.
So do I. I have ghosted people because of my own low self-esteem. Oh, come on, somebody. Come on with the truth. And I don't know if this is what you mean.
You said that to me. You said maybe he's feeling insecure.
Absolutely. I did say that to you. But I don't know if this is what you mean. But what I was saying to Scott was, sometimes when you are intimidated by a person, and I don't know what your scenario was, Miss G, for real, but sometimes when you feel like you're dating outside of your league, financially, intellectually, in terms physically, because there have been people that have dated and they're like, oh, I think he's too handsome for me, or she's too pretty for me, or she's too intelligent for me. I think sometimes when you feel intimidated or threatened, you end up ghosting. Is that what you mean, Miss G, for real?
Somebody actually sent me a message. This guy that I was friends with him, like when we were in our 20s, and he sent me a message.
She said all of that.
He sent me a message saying that I was always intimidated. He wanted to go out with me now, and then he was like, "Well, I've always been really intimidated by you and your friends." And I was like,
"That's for me."
Why?
Now that's a red flag for me. Like I'm
totally a red flag.
Run another. If you come through the door telling me that you don't think, if you don't think you in my league or you think I'm in another league, I already know that you're insecure.
That's right. Yeah.
And the reason why I say that's a sign to run is because I've done it before. I've dated people before more than one time, and they're like, "Oh my God, I just don't feel like I'm on your level." And I'm going to tell you something just from experience. You are going to spend your entire relationship trying to validate them, trying to secure them, make them feel comfortable. No, baby, you need a therapist. You need to go lay on somebody's couch, because I don't want to spend the entire relationship trying to validate you and make you feel worthy and deserving.
That's right.
Because you'll never be able to do that. You'll never be able to do that. Every time you're hanging out with your friends, they're going to come up with some scenario in their mind with why you're with them, or every time you get dressed nicely and you going out, it's going to be about them, and it's always going to point to their insecurity. Run. Go in the other direction. Somebody said, I think ghosting is emotional immaturity. Yes, we definitely said that. Somebody said, Delilah said, they will try to humble you too if they don't feel worthy. I'm gonna take it a step further than that. They won't just try to humble you. They'll try to control you. They'll try to control you and try to knock you down off this pedestal that they think you're on. They'll try to knock you down.
They will.
And it's just like, no, I don't. Maya Angelou said.
That's why I said you have to be clear about yourself. Like, you have to be clear about who you are.
You gotta be clear about who you are. You gotta know your name. Because Maya Angelou used to say, it's like they try to chip away at little pieces of you. They'll chip away at your ears and the pieces of your nose, and before you know it, you've disintegrated because they're pegging. I mean, not pegging. Pecking. Pegging. They're pecking. That's
a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother conversation. Pegging. But so you got to be mindful of that. If a person thinks that you're more intelligent than they are, they try to call you dumb, or they try to, well, you think you smarter than everybody. No, I don't. That's not what I'm doing. That's just how you feel.
I have a good job.
Yes, indeed.
What'd you say?
Have a good job.
Yeah. Ooh. Or why are you spending that kind of money on?
Why are you spending money on? Why are you worrying about this? Did I ever ask you for anything? I didn't ask you for your sorry ass hand in there. well, why you gotta go eat sushi? That's so bougie.
Right.
You need to expand your horizons. Don't try to tell me that it's bougie. I don't want fried chicken every day. I want to try something different. You understand? Well, why we gotta take a vacation off of the coast of Africa? Why do we need? I don't want to go to the Bahamas no more.
Or Miami.
And I'm tired of Mexico. I'm tired of Mexico. Okay, can we go someplace else?
Come on, Miami.
Now this one tastes really weak.
Oh my God! Seriously?
What's in this one?
Less than the first one.
So this one only put 2 chest hairs on my chest.
This tastes like lime juice.
I only put a
This
little
is good
lime
though.
juice
I
in it.
like it. Cheers, Ryan.
He need to use a half of the bottle of tequila.
I mean, how tipsy did you need?
Let me see what y'all in here saying. Somebody said this is good. Yes, Kanisha, it's projection and deflection. You're right about that. You are right about that. But no, that ghosting thing is serious. And I mean, like,
Well, let's talk about the catfishing thing because I've
Yes.
never experienced that.
Oh, I have.
I
You
have.
have?
Yeah.
How did you find out you were being catfished?
Was this on Tinder or some other place?
On Tinder.
Or some other place?
Not the red app. Not the red
Not
app.
the red app? Okay.
Not the red
You know,
app.
the black app, the black gays are on the red app, Jack. The white gays and some of the black gays
on
are
the
on,
black and yellow.
yeah, that's
Black
the
and
grinder.
What's-
Grindr.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything
Mhm.
about this. Sorry.
But and again, this isn't just for the gays because I know ladies, I know y'all over there on Black People Meet,
Bumble. They
And
got
Bumble. right? And what's the one for the lesbians? They got an app.
Oh,
They do.
I didn't know that.
I'm
not app savvy. Like I feel like I'm like
How do you meet people?
I don't. So that's why I saw the dating coach because I was not, and so he was saying things to me that really challenged me in the sense that he was like, well, you know, you're smart, you're funny, you're handsome, you dress nicely. I would expect that people are in your DMs, and I'm like, well, they are. And he was like, but you don't respond. I was like, I think that's weird. Like that's creepy to me. So
I don't look at my DMs and I don't look at my
Oh.
Facebook Messenger.
So he told me to start doing that, to start
That's what the
responding
dating
to
coach
my
said.
DM. Yeah. And so it shifted my perception because he said to me, like, what's the difference between someone coming into your DMs or meeting someone in the club? Like,
Right.
I was like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So I kind of, like, there's some times where my age has a factor in how I see things. And that's probably just one of them. So I can't get on those apps because I always feel like they're seedy or like there is always
For me, I just felt like they were reductive.
but they always like, so I have been on them before, but it always feels like the conversation just goes to sex almost instantly.
Ghosts.
Because people always have this sense of courage on an app. Like you're gonna ask me about sex on an app, but if we ran into each other in a Target,
right.
you would never say those things to me in a Target. They're also saying that the ladies have plenty of fish. They also have Christian mingle.
Christian mingle.
Christian mingle.
All right, well, praise it.
But you know, like say for instance with Tinder,
Come on, productive and vacuous. Come on, somebody.
I think Tinder is the worst because you
That
can
is
swipe
really true.
That is true.
you can swipe right on somebody and think you have a match, and then
Speak
they don't
on
say
it.
nothing. Or you can say hey, and they never say a word.
So I've been on Facebook dating twice, and that has happened to me. And I put in my profile like, please don't send me or please don't match with me if you don't plan on conversing.
Yeah.
Like, and I will send, and I'm not even opposed to like saying, hey, how's it going? Nothing, like crickets. And I'm like, well, why the?
But you know, sometimes people don't read the byline. They look at your picture, swipe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you know, you brought up a really good point because Ryan had me on Tinder
Tinder.
before I met Carlton, and he was like, "Just this was the height of the pandemic," and Ryan was like, "You need to get on." He said, when is the last time you went on a date?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's been a minute. Now, I was fucking,
That's not the same thing.
but I hadn't been on a date." And so he was like, "You need to try out Tinder," and I was like, "No, I don't really want."
Warm me out, Scott.
Right. I
Warm
was
me
like, I don't really want to get on Tinder because I had history. I came from being at home on the computer on Adam for Adam and Men for Now. I write about it in the first book, so it ain't no secret. And so I felt like that was a slippery slope, just getting back to just meeting people and having sex and keeping it moving.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. And what I found over there on Tinder is the gays are over there. The same gays that are on Tinder are over there on Grindr and Jack. It's just that over on Tinder, they're a little more wholesome. And on Grindr and Jack, they're whores. And see, on Tinder, they'll tell you their real name. They'll tell you their they'll tell you their education. Oh, I went to school. Or they'll tell you what profession they're in. But it's almost like Jack and Grindr lend themselves to just sex. They don't want you to know who they are. They don't have a real name.
But don't Jack and Grindr, like it's in the name. Like it's actually in the name. Like what they are looking for. I mean, Jacked and Grindr. So
I personally feel like those what we call hookup apps, I really do think they could be a place to really network.
Oh yeah.
And make great connections in terms of dating. We have decided to reduce them to just sex.
That's right.
And I don't just mean the gays, because I know ladies, I know some of y'all over there on Match.com just fucking randomly. I got a friend from college, a female friend, straight. She used to go in there and meet guys, and she would fuck and then just move on. She would block them and then go to the next one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So gays, LGBTQ people don't think that it's just the gays that do that. You know, because it's not. And so you know if the straight woman was doing it, you know
there's nothing wrong
straight
with
men
that.
are
Like
doing
if that's
it.
what if you're upfront about that,
Right.
and that's you're very clear about that's what all you want, then
Right.
go for it.
Right. And so for me, like when Ryan was like, well, you should try to get on. Okay. When Ryan was like, you should try to get on Tinder. He said, get on there. What'd you say, a week? I think he said, no, I think he tried to get me to stay on there for a week.
I said a weekend.
Oh, a weekend. And I was just like, I don't know. So I ended up creating the profile. And I think a day later, I deleted it.
Ooh.
And Ryan.
Why did you delete it?
Because it felt vacuous and reductive.
I think he didn't give it a shot.
So were you able to meet people on there?
I met a couple people.
But to his point, I was what is it, right? When you like somebody, I would swipe right and I would get all these different matches, but then nobody would communicate. I would send a message or they would send a message and I would respond, and then that would be it.
That's a form of ghosting.
That's a form of ghosting also.
Because you just looking to match with somebody.
Right, you just want to see.
That validates your ego right in that moment when you see you match.
Come on, somebody. Exactly.
And then they don't want nothing else to do with you.
And speaking of that, I think that was I know that was my scenario when I used to be on Adam for Adam and Men for Now, when it was just on a computer before the little mobile app thing came along. That was my thing. It was validation. I was in a depression. I had just come out of a relationship.
Yeah.
So I was trying to lick and heal my wounds from that relationship. I was broken.
Yeah.
I was trying to pacify the pain.
That's interesting. We have similar stories.
Yeah. And so I would get on those apps. It wasn't an app. It was a computer site. It was a website at the time. Right. Yeah. And it validated me.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh no, you really are great. Because a breakup has the potential to make you feel less worthy.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like, well, if you're just so great, then why couldn't you make this relationship work?
Yeah.
Whatever the case is. And so when I tell you, getting online and getting that message, it validated me. Or I would come back to the computer and there's 30, 40 messages sitting there. And you got guys saying, oh my God, I just want you to hold me. Oh, you just so this. Oh, you're just so that. Oh, I just want you to fuck me, or whatever they saying, right?
Yeah.
That validated me.
Yeah.
It validated my ego.
Yeah.
At the time, because I was in such a low place.
Yeah.
But then once you heal, when that healed you come through, you don't need that.
Are you getting ready to pass the
I'm
connection plate?
about to run around this table. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be mindful of that, because I think that there are a lot of people, straight, gay, whatever, that get hooked on these sites, these dating sites.
Like if you're not working on your interpersonal skills or all these kind of things, like it is a slippery slope.
How are you gonna meet your next date? Like
I don't. So what's interesting? I told Craig this. So when I was in New York, there was a guy in my hotel that worked at the hotel who was semi-flirting with me, and I was kind of like flirting back a little bit. And then I was standing waiting for the elevator, and I was on my phone, and this British white guy was talking to me, and something in me said, "Put your phone down and engage." And so I did, and he was flirting with me, and then or at least I thought he was, until he got off the elevator and said, "I gotta go meet my wife." And I was like, "Wait, what? You're what?" And so I say that to say that I'm a lot more, even with all this happening or this having happened to me, I'm still being present and working on just engaging. So, and I have the tendency to just meet people wherever, in the grocery store or whatever. And I'm typically, because I'm very aloof and I kind of exist.
Like in the restaurant the other week. Remember, I don't want to say the name of the restaurant. Remember you in the restaurant and the guy spoke and when Del was like,
yeah, right. No, we were walking down the street.
Right.
Yeah, we had just left
the restaurant.
Yeah. And I said, I spoke. Like, what else am I supposed to do?
Right.
But and so, because I can like exist in my own world, and I tune.
I'm the same way.
Brian is definitely the same way.
I don't pay people any attention, and that's not a good thing.
I can tune the whole world out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So to answer your question, I'm just going to be a lot more present in how I navigate the world and just be more focused on engaging with people. And I think that's going to be the key of how I meet the next person. And maybe like somebody out here might be like introducing me to somebody.
I guess the things that you enjoy.
Because y'all sure be tearing me up worrying about how to get to Scott. Go ahead. Stop messaging me over my website. That website is for books. I'll be emailing me at CraigWriterStewart.com about either one of these people.
Well, you can give them my Instagram.
Or Elliot. So Scott's Instagram is Scott Allen Bogan.
Yep.
Scott Allen Bogan. ALLEN. Ryan's is, what's your... No, you don't want to tell him? Oh, okay. He don't want to try it out. Ryan is seeing somebody.
Right.
Maybe forget my question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to ask him? You don't remember?
What are the things that you enjoy that's going to put you into those type of environment to meet someone? Besides the grocery store and going out to eat.
So I take little trips to New York and go see plays, and I go
doing a long distance.
No. I would prefer not. Like, I've made that work in my past, and that's okay with me. It's not my preference. As I get older, like, I really would prefer somebody be next to me on a regular basis.
Because I need to touch and feel.
Yeah.
We know.
And all the other things.
And all of the other stuff.
Right. So I go to exhibit gallery openings. I go to plays here. I haven't really started going to plays here, but I probably will start. And I travel. I don't know. Like,
you work from home?
I do work from home, which is bad.
But that's why it's important to get out as well.
Yeah.
Because like working from home, it definitely cuts off our
That's why I started doing like coffee shops.
Yeah, because Ryan will go work in a coffee shop and stuff.
I like working from home because it's quiet and I can get a lot done. And I can get up early in the morning and sit down and just start working, and then I can play the rest of the day.
And see, I get more work done in a loud environment, but it's just me and my
computer. So I can't focus because I'm distracted.
You are out of the camera, Darlene.
Well, you keep moving it.
I did not move the camera. I'm touching the comments so we can see some of the comments. But they like, yes, that Scott is fine. Oh, and that Ryan is fire. Y'all are something else. But I'm gonna need y'all to stay off my website trying to get in touch with these people because you're gonna be clogging up my website and email box.
Tell him that I'll give you his number if you buy a book.
Right. Go and buy a book and I'll send you his number.
Not my phone number, but something.
Well, you said number.
I did say number. I didn't my phone number.
We'll make it Google now.
Right. Somebody said, do you believe in love at first sight?
Okay, so it's funny. So I go to Pilates every Tuesday and Friday.
Yes.
And so there's this guy in my Pilates class, and I steer clear of his ass because like he looks like George Clooney, and he's really nice, and he is loving in an inconspicuous way. And I'll give you an example. So one day I left class, every class is over, and I'm getting in my car, and I realized I forgot my water, and I left it in the studio. So I get out of my car. He's in his car getting ready to drive off. And he rolls down his window and he's like, "Are you okay?"
Is he gay?
No, he's not gay. He's straight and married.
Go, sir, go on about your business. Leave me alone.
And so I really thought about that. And I was like, it's such a subtle way of expressing love to somebody. Like, I'm worried that your car won't start or something like that.
Yeah.
And it felt very genuine, right? And so, like, and I've really been attracted to him, but I just don't engage with him because I'm like, you're married. I know you got kids. And there's something about you that I can feel from you.
Right.
Like, there's an energy that you're directing towards me. And I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Right.
So, but.
Because he may be like the pastor.
That's right. Yeah, I will refuse to be on Twitter.
I mean, all over Twitter.
In a compromising situation.
Okay.
But so I say all that to say, like, when I first met him, I felt something about him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was love, but it definitely was like something.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a physical thing. It was like something. Like I feel connected. To him.
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone love at first sight?
No.
I've never had that either.
No.
So Stephanie says, looks are what attract or bring me in, but personality is what makes me stay. Have you had love at first sight?
No. Why you do that?
I was thinking, I don't remember hearing nothing about that.
I don't know.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe that could happen?
I believe it can happen.
Do you believe that?
I've seen enough movies to think it's going to happen.
Why you roll your eyes?
I love LeBron.
You're romantic. Like, why'd you go?
I am romantic, but he's just because of a movie. No, I do think that you can be jolted. You know what I mean? Like, I think there can be some sort of a.
I have some friends that live in New York, and they met on Pride, and they went home that night, and they spent like 25 years together. They never left each other's side.
Somebody said strong attraction, but love. So basically, she's saying, or he's saying, strong attraction, yes, but is it love?
I mean, it's
Mary J. Blige had a song about it.
Mary J. Blige is not the barometer that I'm looking for. Okay, she's trying to charge $602,000 for concert tickets because she's trying to get us to pay for her spouse to support the Ken do. I'm like, Mary, I ain't got no money to be paying Ken do for
that's
you.
not nice.
You know? I'm sorry. It's the margarita.
That I made.
Right.
That's weak.
Did you need another one?
I'll take care of it.
Because I was gonna put a little basil in the next one.
But let someone take care of you.
Right. Right. A part of taking care of yourself is allowing you, telling people what you need.
There's a lot of things that I need.
Well, what you need?
Ooh, pedicure.
I had that conversation with my friend Rashard before. I don't know if you guys have really met Rashard, but I say to him, I'm like, you never really shared, and I've known Rashard since like 99. And I'm like, you never really come and say, well, hey, this is what I'm going through. And I know he goes through stuff because we all go through stuff. And he said,
on vacation?
He's back.
No.
But he was like, I always try to deal with things on my own. And I just think that there's something great about that, but I also think that it's something really concerning, not dangerous, but concerning about that. Because you know what I mean?
But if you've been fixing your own problems for so long.
But are you really fixing them? If you're fixing them, that's one thing. But if you're just holding them in and just...
Let's say the tree fell on my house again, right? So the tree fell on my house. I'm the one who's got to take care of it. Why am I going to call you? What you going to do?
Well,
But Craig might have some secret skill.
I may have a resource.
He might have a chainsaw down in his basement, and he might know how to come help you.
We're talking about Craig.
I know, but in theory, you don't know. Like, Craig didn't know that I knew how to plant trees and shit.
Right.
So, like, it's possible. And sometimes sharing, you discover things about people that you don't know.
But I think another thing is, like, say for instance, I know this person and I expressed like some things that I was working through.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like it went.
But that just meant
But then it just makes it like, well, I don't want to tell nobody else. Nah.
But that just meant that wasn't your audience.
Right. That wasn't the right person.
Right.
Somebody said all these falling trees. It's time to move. It's time to move on. Okay, so somebody said
I need to see this falling tree.
Kevin, thank you very much for the super chat. Kevin says, where should we look for quality gay men?
I mean, Kevin. But I mean,
if they had Brian is saying something. If he had the answer, he would have found her.
Right, and I definitely would not have been ghosted.
But here's the thing, Kevin. Just to satisfy your question, I've had so many gay men.
I figured it out.
What?
It's networking, because you think about it, you know somebody that you can hook me up with.
That's right.
That you think that would be it's just like in work.
It's
like
true.
A job.
It's very true.
Networking solves business. Networking solves person.
However, I will say that just because you have like-minded friends does not mean that these people come with a rubber stamp of approval of that they are articulate or they have interpersonal skills or they have emotional intelligence and they can,
Because what would you think? What would you think would match Rashard? And what?
Finish your thought. So Byron said Home Depot, Lowe's, Infinity Service Center. That's where you find a quality gay man.
Not Xfinity.
Not Xfinity. I can't take it. So wait, I am so mad with y'all. Y'all are crazy. Oh my God.
Not Xfinity.
But wait, what were you saying, Ryan? You remember what you were saying?
Well, like you said, Rashard, right?
Yeah.
What would you think would be? Why would they match?
Why would who match?
Are you sure?
Didn't you say you were going to match him with him?
No.
Oh, that's what I thought you said.
Did you need some water? I know the cocktail was a little strong for you. Did you need some water?
If you were going to match somebody with Scott, what would that person be like?
That's a really great question.
That is a good question. So for example, like with you, I can't say his name.
No.
Well, with Ryan, those of you that are on my Patreon, they don't know. Now, those of you that are on my Patreon, you know who Ryan is dating because I pointed it out. But like, I didn't really.
Did you introduce them?
I didn't introduce them. That's all I'm saying. They knew each other.
Oh, okay.
But I brought them together in the sense of. Ryan had said to me one day, he was like, "Oh my God, I just saw such and such," and we just stood and had a long conversation, and he was gushing, and he was like, I said, "I know him," and so he was just like, "But he said I had to get away from him." He said because we were standing there talking, and I was just in a trance, and I just needed to get away from him because I was just mesmerized. I was like, "Really?
That's really sweet."
But he was like,
I've always had a crush on him.
He's always had a crush on him.
I was sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes, like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this conversation?
And he was trying to get out of the conversation because he was just so.
Yes.
And so.
Very shy.
Right. And Ryan is shy.
Wow.
Shy. And so he told me about it, and I know the guy. So I reached out to the guy and was like, my friend just said that y'all were standing and talking and da-da-da-da.
Where did you see
weren't you at the park or something? They were at the park. They were out at the park.
It was like a nice day out.
Yeah, it was a nice day. They ran into each other at the park and they were just talking.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Everybody that I know said that about him.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy.
And so that's why you need to be on Patreon. But at any rate, I said to him, I said, my friend Ryan, this, that, and the third. And he's like, really? He said he didn't say anything. I said, well, he's shy. He's not going to say anything. And so the guy reached out to Ryan, and they ended up going to a play that week. And that was back in October, and they've been dating since October. But to answer the question that somebody asked, where do you meet? I think the best place to meet is through friends.
But you didn't answer my question.
What was the question?
If you were going to set him up with something.
Oh, right.
Wait, are you trying to set me up? Is that what?
What I'm trying to figure out, if we're going to set Scott with somebody.
What is it that you're right.
What's the list going to be?
Right.
Like, can he be out of shape? Can he be white, black, whatever?
He could be white, black, or whatever.
Does he have to be working?
He definitely needs a job.
Oh my God! Right.
He said he want to fix your upper.
No. That's not what I said.
You said you want to fix your upper.
No, I was joking.
Listen, he needs a job.
I prefer, and let me be clear. I prefer to date a black man, but I have dated the rainbow.
Right. What's the age range?
Oh, I just had this conversation in
New
New York with my friend at dinner. So my floor is probably, I'm gonna say 38.
Okay, 38 to.
Well, shit, I'm 54, so I don't.
75?
No. Well, so I went out on a couple of dates with these guys that were like 65, and I was kind of like,
It's way too.
That's way too old. So
Okay,
one of them had on like a set, like
he had a short set on, a pant set. Listen, don't be coordinating that much.
A rayon. I was like, and what was bad about it was I really liked him. Like, he was so nice, and
well, you could have taken him shopping.
I enjoyed talking to him.
That's why they wanted to be like, I can change him.
But I was like, what? I was like, it was like one of those rayons.
Okay, listen. Okay, so I think it was Dewan that said, "Oh yeah, he brought the crab cakes or something." No, he brought the pasta, the seafood salad. You know who I'm talking about? It's over on Patreon. But with Scott, he definitely needs a job. He definitely needs to be cultured. I mean, cultured, and he ain't got to read books every day or once a month or that kind of thing. But he needs to be well traveled. He needs to be, when I say cultured, I mean not just wanting to be eating soul food. He needs to have a
He's
palate.
well-rounded.
Well-rounded is the word. There it is.
I don't like to drive. But let's say, for instance, you, right? Mm-hmm. How many miles away is the furthest that you can go?
They need to be inside the perimeter.
That's where you fuck it up. He don't got to live in town. If he live in Stone Mountain, you can date him.
ITP. I'm all about ITP.
Inside the perimeter, for those of you who don't know. That's inside of 285, because I know we got people.
My car is like, where are you going?
First of all, you cannot be limited.
That's what I'm saying. You saw what happened with me with the last
person. Let me tell you something about Ryan. So Ryan was dating this guy.
I don't like to drive.
And I told Ryan, I said, whether it ain't just that you don't like to drive, you don't like him.
But let me tell you.
But Atlanta,
no.
It's
I would get off 75 and have like another 30 minutes.
Oh my God!
But you didn't like him.
You don't know.
But did he come to your house?
He did, and he was willing to come over. And you know what Ryan told him? Well, I just need a couple days to myself. Ryan didn't like him. Like the guy would be like, well, can we get? Look, Ryan would be like, well, the guy would be like, well, can we get together on a Sunday? Well, Sunday this is him. Well, Sunday is kind of my day that I just kind of. But when can I see you? Like baby said, when can I see you again?
Not on Sunday.
Not on Sunday.
It's the day of rest. It's the Lord's Day.
He did not want to see this guy.
He lived too far.
He was not the one. Wasn't into him at all. He was not.
He was stalking me outside my house.
But then this man started stalking Ryan.
See, so Ryan was right.
Well, the guy would be parked down the street.
So he was right.
And he would call me and be like, Craig, I think his car is sitting down the street. I said, make sure your door's unlocked.
Well, then he went to us.
I said,
Ryan was operating off of his instinct. His intuition was telling him.
You could say that, but look, I would tell Ryan. I said, while the man was sitting down the street, I said, send him a text. Him like, why are you sitting outside of my house? I said, you need to let him know that you see him. I see you. I said, you need to send him a text. He would sit down the street from his house.
He brought breakfast to my job. I would have to be at work at 6 o'clock, right? I had this little side gig. I had to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. He would drop breakfast off before I got to work. So the lady that I was replacing would be like, oh, this guy brought you some food.
Ma'am, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that.
Because that's full of anthrax.
And COVID-19, because this is the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh my God.
Because he is trying to stop
But this man, how long were y'all dating before he bought those tickets for Brazil? He had bought tickets for Brazil, bitch.
What?
If your man ain't taking you to Brazil.
I'm sorry, but this is like 18 red flags.
Wait. How long were y'all dating before he...
Did you go to Brazil?
No, because COVID happened and they had to...
Less than 2.
They were dating like 2 months.
And he bought tickets to Brazil.
I think I was getting excited.
Where did you meet this guy?
It wasn't it on Tinder?
No. Was it Tinder? It was Tinder.
I thought it was Tinder.
It was Tinder.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot. He was giving
that sounds like a lot.
My anxiety was having anxiety.
I'm sure, because somebody sitting outside my house would freak me out.
Oh, he was serious. Yes, he was. Let me see. Thank you, Honey Bee, for the super chat.
Everybody kept saying, "Oh, well, the money. The money can supersede everything."
No, absolutely not.
No, yeah, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That
so
was
35 to 60 is your.
Well, if he's a young 60.
No. I'm talking about him.
Good. 60's good.
Yeah, but if he wearing pantsuits.
No, this guy was 65.
But what if the 60-year-old guy is old? Because you got some old 60-year-olds.
You want short, tall?
I don't care about that.
See, and then that's the other thing. I think sometimes when you start setting rules like that, he needs to be a certain height.
I don't care about any of that. I don't care about, because to me, like, I try to stay in shape, but like, at 54, you can't be
looking like you looked at
right.
30.
How important is sex for you?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I beg your pardon.
Yes, lots.
Okay.
I got a high sex drive.
And so do I. Daily.
You don't have me too.
But I'm good with
I can turn it on and off.
So
I'm gonna need you to suck, lick, touch, or something.
I prefer daily, but I'm good with like maybe 4 times a week, 3 times a week.
Okay. Because life does get challenging.
Yes. Right.
People working and stuff.
Yeah, maybe I'm tired.
Right.
Are we eating a heavy meal? Or,
you know what? On that note, let me go make my own cocktail. We need a heavy meal. Not a heavy meal.
That don't work for set,
My God, today. My God.
What else?
Today.
What else?
So inside the perimeter.
That's preferable, but I could do like Smyrna or.
Well, Lithonia is closer.
No.
Can you do Dunwoody?
Can I do what?
Dunwoody.
Maybe.
Why not Lithonia? Because you think there's a certain quality that lives over in Lithonia? That property value is better over in Smyrna as opposed to Lithonia.
I don't care about that. So I don't care about that. I don't care. Like some guy wanted to go out, but he was like, well, I don't own a house. I was like,
insecurity, run.
Right. I was like, I don't care about that. But he couldn't deal with
you owning a house.
Right, all this other stuff.
So let me ask you this.
Oh my God. This is gonna be because you done tapped me on my shoulder. What is it? Do I need to brace?
Wait, I forgot what I was gonna say because you said that.
That was God. God was protecting me.
Credit. What if he has bad credit?
No.
Well, how you gonna know his credit anyway?
That's too soon for you to know that. What if he has bad credit?
What about month 4? You find out credit.
But that shows up. Doesn't that show up in other ways of life?
No. Let's say, for instance, he got a job. He paid all his bills. But
If he pays those bills, he doesn't have fucked up credit.
But let's say,
well, he could be on a new road.
He could student loans he ain't touch. He could have like old stuff that's just sitting there that making that score go 555.
Oh my God, 500 credit?
But you don't know this till month 4.
Right.
I don't know.
Are you gonna help restore this credit, or are you gonna be like, you got it?
Kimberly Jones said, "Run! If the nigga ain't got bad credit, run."
I don't know the answer to that. So because I'm not in it, that's really hard. My instinct is to say that if he seems responsible, right? Like if he's not like trying to run away from his responsibilities, because like, so for me, bad credit is indicative of being irresponsible in some way.
He could have had.
Well.
He could have.
As a person who's just starting to clean up their credit,
car repo.
Because I have 4 car repossessions.
Are you serious?
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
Really?
But see, again, that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful because
he was living that Atlanta life.
No. I
don't think Craig.
No, I wasn't living in Atlanta life. I was trying to live that dream. I was putting on plays and starting the greeting card thing.
Yeah.
So I ran my credit through the hole.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I think every situation is different. So my credit was terrible.
All right, so I'm gonna give you.
And like somebody said, my friend, the mass transit credit can be repaired. But go ahead.
I agree with that. And if you're showing that you're interested in improving your credit, then I'm willing to. I could.
Are you ready to date now?
Yes, I am.
But I also think too, the credit wouldn't come up in the first probably
It would not.
6 months
It
of
would
dating.
No, it totally would.
Yeah, I don't think that would come up.
Because I know somebody said to me, "Oh, you must have good credit. You just bought you a house." You know, like, well, how are you all in my business?
Right? Yeah. So I'm gonna give you an example. So I was dating this guy. This was years ago. This is back when I lived in that condo in Inman Park.
Okay.
And the guy, I made dinner. He came to my house, and we're sitting at dinner. And something's wrong with him, and I could tell. So he says, "I got fired today," and I was like,
"Wait, is this the guy you talking about that had the Latin guy?"
Well, I don't. So anyway.
I forgot y'all were there watching. Sorry. Go ahead.
So he tells me he gets fired, right?
Hold on a second. Can I get a little basil for my next margarita, please?
Can you tell the story?
Yeah.
The basil is in the container in there. You'll see. Yeah.
He tells me he gets fired. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm really sorry to hear that. What happened? And he was like, well, I was using the purchase card at work.
That is the guy I'm thinking about.
And they fired me. And I'm like, wait, what? You were using the purchase card at work? And I was like, for what? And he was like, oh, well, I was, buying stuff for my apartment. And I'm like, and so I'm sitting there listening to
So essentially you were stealing.
Yeah. Yes. And I said, okay. Now, and we're the same age, basically. Yeah. He may be a year or two younger than I am. And this was back when I was in my 40s, but still old enough to know better.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, well, all right. And I don't want to ask too many questions because I don't want to seem judgmental about it because I don't really fully understand that.
Like, they said embezzlement. Oh no, he had to go.
Well, and right. So I did say that to him. I was like, well, I guess you should be thankful that they didn't call the police because
and lock your ass up.
So, and his boss was a black man and was really, because he had gone back to school and got his degree and da-da-da. And I think his boss didn't want, to do that to him. So, but I did. So I ended up, we went to my parents' house for Christmas and he spent Christmas with us. But on the way back, I was like, I don't think I can deal with that because I'm not sure I can build a life with you. Like, I don't know that you're going to make good, sound fiscal decisions around our money. And why would I want to pool money with somebody that is going to take something that doesn't belong to them and steal?
I remember that.
And so that was difficult for me. So I kind of feel the same way about, it's kind of the same decision making behind credit, right? Like I get your scenario. I guess it's just contextual, right? Like it's going to be a context thing that you have to sit and talk through and process. So,
but but the thing for me though is when I was really, really, really short, because remember I was single for 9 years before I met Carlton. So there was a period where I wouldn't even allow myself to be on the dating market. I was fucking, but I wouldn't allow myself to be on the dating market.
You were doing what?
Fucking.
Okay.
That's like me.
Right. Because I knew I needed to repair my credit. I knew I was working on, I didn't have money to be going on dates. I didn't have money to be going out to eat.
But that's good that you were clear about that.
Yeah, I was very clear about that. Yeah. So I wasn't actively trying to date and get to know anybody. Because I knew that there were things that I was trying to work on myself. And even if you're coming out of a relationship, it's something really special about knowing that I'm not interested in dating right now. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to recover. Yeah. Because there was a guy, and I'm sure you can definitely fuck. But there was a conversation that I had one time on here before. It was a long time ago. I was sharing with you guys before. I don't even know if I told this story. But I remember years and years ago, I was out. This was when, it's unimportant. I was at one of them clubs in Midtown. It ain't there no more. And I remember there was a guy there, and I was so attracted to him. And it was at the let out. We're leaving the club. And I remember seeing him, and I stopped him, and I was like, hey, how you doing? My name is Craig. I really would like to get to know you. Da, da, da. Whatever it was, I said. And he paused, and he looked at me, and he smiled. And I could tell he was flattered and all of that stuff. And he said to me, he said, I'm really just trying to heal right now. That, and I smiled and I said, I get it, I understand, and I left it alone. I thought that was the most one of the most profound things that I ever heard somebody say. It was so honest and it was so pure, and it was so
you're advocating for self.
Right. He knew he wasn't in the space to try to open up. So similarly, like I knew that there were times in my life when I had just come out of something like a relationship or dating. It was so responsible. And so not
for
even
him and for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was trying to take care of me too. Like I know I can't. If you're really ready for something, I can't give you what you're ready for because I just came out of something.
Yeah.
And so.
But it's also like the guy that stopped and asked, "Are you okay?" Like it's loving.
Yeah.
It's very loving.
Yeah. It was very loving, and So when he said that, I was just like, wow. And so for me, like there have been times that financially I wasn't in the space or I was not in my best.
So at what point, because remember, I'm going back to what I said earlier about we're always dealing with something, right?
Always.
Like, so at what is the threshold for I need to take care of this versus dating? Because life is going to come at you regardless of what your dating situation is.
Thank you. It is. For me, I just think that you have to know yourself.
So if something happened, like you start dating Carlton, and something major happens, I don't know,
a death or losing a job or something.
Like you find out you owe $80,000 to somebody.
Oh my God. My God.
I'm not wishing that on you or anybody. But my point is that anything could happen at any given moment. And you just have started dating Carlton. Would you continue dating Carlton, or would you say, I need to take care of this and figure this out? Like, so I'm saying, like, all of this stuff is constantly happening in everyone's life.
Yeah.
And it could happen at any given time, right? And it's a make or break situation.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of this conversation. I think that is what happens to some people when they ghost.
Yeah.
Some major life thing happens in their life, and because you're new to them, they're not going to explain that to you.
Because they think you might judge them.
You might judge them. Like if you just lost your job, like say for instance, I meet you on a Thursday and we make plans to go out next week and we're talking on the phone every day and we're getting to know each other on the phone. We FaceTiming and shit. And we got plans for a date the following week. And then I lose my job before we go out. That's a reason that I think some people will ghost. And because I don't really know you like that to say, well, listen, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to tell you that I lost my job. And then I just vanish.
Is that?
I think that's a real thing.
But is that a valid reason? That sounded judgmental, but I'm not meaning it in a judgmental way. I'm really curious. Like, is it a valid reason?
Do you ghost in your friendship, your family?
No.
You mean because you lost your job or something?
No, right. Like, because you would tell your friends and your family, I just lost my job, right?
But you're new.
I would.
You wouldn't?
See, he wouldn't.
Why not?
This is a secret squirrel.
I need to find a solution before I let you know something bad happened.
But we talked about networking, right? And so a part of networking is allowing people to help you find a solution.
True.
Some said I think it's valid. Some said I don't think it is valid.
What?
If you lost your job and you just don't know how to say that.
Oh.
But this goes back to what Ryan just said. He's saying that if he lost his job, he's not even going to tell his family or friends. He's going to try to figure it out first. But what I believe is life sends us certain things because it teaches us. It's designed to teach us how to be a better steward.
That's right.
So, like, I think the lesson for you... Steward.
What kind of steward is
EWARD.
Okay.
And it's not steward as an STEWART, but EWARD. But even like an example, like with my mom being on dialysis, my mother has always been like this independent person. She does things on her own terms. She's the only, well, not the only, but for a long time, she was the only and first one in my family, and her side of the family, that bought a house, owned a house, went to college. And so she's always been this person that she's used to doing things on her own. But I said to her when she first started dialysis, I said that this may be the universe or God's way of teaching you to rely on other people.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say about being philosophical, because you asked me, am I ready to date? And I think sometimes when you decide, right, that I'm going to make a change in my life, that God immediately will send a test.
Yeah.
Like somebody ghosting you, right? Like I recently made the decision to start dating, like to make myself emotionally available to date. But I also have made, like in the past, like I decided I want to be more patient with people. And of course, because I made that decision, everything is trying my patience, right? So, and I am sitting there having to bite a hole in my tongue because I'm wanting to be a more patient person. So when you make a decision or when you put out into the universe, I want to date, okay, well, let's see how serious you are about dating. Because I'm going to send you somebody who's going to ghost your ass. Then I'm going to send you somebody, you know, so all these tests to say how serious are you about dating, Scott? How open are you to dating?
Yeah. And you know, and it's interesting because Ryan and I had this conversation too. When you first start dating somebody and you are sure that you like them, right? And the connection is there and this, that, and the third.
Here comes that test.
And here comes that test. Some motherfucker that you used to date before.
Right. What you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me come through.
and I remember, like, we had a conversation. I was just like, but you got to focus on what's here and what's right now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
they coming up.
That didn't work.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to focus on what you got in front of you right now.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of times people get distracted. A lot of times people get distracted. You have a great opportunity right in front of you.
Right.
And then some old.
Right.
Yeah. Do you need a religious man?
No, I do not. I don't. I would prefer they not be atheists. I'm okay with agnostic. But atheists, no. And I definitely don't need, because I don't want anybody to be like, well, come on and let's go to church. Not that I'm opposed to going to church, but don't try to impose your belief system onto me.
Don't try to proselytize me.
Right, yeah.
I've seen that become issues in certain religions.
Yeah, I have too.
They'd be like, oh, you never go to church with
right. Yeah, what? Is that a requirement? Because my belief system is church is wherever I am.
Yep. Come on, somebody. My girl Shea in LA said, I think for the ghoster, any reason they see fit is valid. That also helps you know what you're dealing with. And though it may not feel good, you're probably better off. I think you're always better off for sure.
Oh, any reason they see fit is valid to
ghost. Yeah. Any reason they feel, to just stop.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So
I got a headache, so I can go.
Right.
Apparently.
Stephanie Akoba said, "Can I get an amen?" To what you just said. Okay. So the Mass Trans says, Craig, what was it about the ghoster that attracted Scott to him?
Wait, that attracted. Oh, that.
Initially, what was it that attracted you to him?
On Facebook, right?
Instagram,
but same thing. I think that he and I shared a lot. So one, our birthdays are 2 days apart. We have mutual friends in common, which I'm always fascinated by that, because then I can ask my friends what it is that they think that we might have in common, which it turns out we had a lot in common. Like we both like art, we both like galleries, we both are cultural people. Like we explore things.
Who added who on Instagram?
How did that start? I don't know, because it's been years now.
Well, let's pull it up. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't. Can I see from here?
Yeah, we can scroll to the top.
But I don't know when we started. Like, I don't know how that exchange happened.
We can go to the top of the DMs.
We don't have to.
Oh no. Because I delete.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we have a lot in common. So yeah, that's how that started. Like we have shared interests, and I'm always fascinated by that. And something he said, like after we had our very first phone conversation years ago, it was like something to the effect, I knew you were going to be like this. And I didn't explore that, but I was fascinated by like, what does that mean exactly?
Right.
And I never got a chance to ask.
Familiar spirits.
Yeah, Right.
Yep. I mean, I just think that's so weird because it would be completely different if you all were just messaging on Instagram, but you all moved beyond just Instagram and exchange phone numbers. You've talked on the phone. Y'all never met in person, but y'all been talking on the phone and Instagram and or texting periodically. Excuse me, at least a year, off and on. Nothing. You do not smell my belch. Stop. Somebody said, "Let's talk about that." Why did you delete the conversation?
Oh, I delete all conversations. Why? Because I have a little OCD and I like things neat and tidy.
Elliot has OCD as well.
Like your text messages, what's the number show? 0?
1 because somebody texted me since I was here.
And what about emails?
Oh my God!
11 because
you got 11 emails.
They just the city.
How many emails you got, Ryan?
Yeah. I don't even want to say.
Please, how many you got?
Oh my God!
How many emails do you have, Ryan? Scott has 11.
I have 48,635.
You got more than I do.
And then in text message, I'm at 142
of unopened text messages.
Because sometimes they be like
come
to Target.
Yeah.
You know,
my emails.
And so my most is at 103, and then the recent one is at 608, which was like 20 minutes ago.
So let me say something. You got 11 emails.
11 emails.
Like,
you go in there and clean it out?
Yeah, every day.
Don't you got work to do?
Yeah.
You got how many?
48,000.
He got 48,000. I got 10,057 emails.
I can't stand that. Like, it drives me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, every now and then I will.
It's almost like a bill is looming over my head. Like, I can't. Yeah.
It don't bother me. Because, it's like promotions. Promotions is more than anything.
I know, but so I feel like I might have missed out on something if I don't read it.
Like promotions,
right?
And I can't delete them all at one time, so it's like,
my God, today.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm like that with everything. Like my Instagram, my Facebook, I delete conversations because I like stuff nice and neat.
I don't even like to look at social media.
Really?
I really don't. I took 4 months off of social media.
Now I could do that. I totally could do that, and have done that. Now I don't know if I've done 4 months. I've done a month. I would do that.
I did 4 months. People putting out PSAs. Okay.
Somebody said, Mike said in Arizona, he said, y'all just want to feel important with all those unopened notifications.
Right.
Once you let it get out of hand, it's out of hand.
It's out of hand. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
I try to delete emails. It's sitting there. I got work to do.
But so why keep? Because you can go select all and delete all of them.
Right. So I will go through periods where I do that, but I'm scared to hit select all.
Because you're not going to read 48,000 emails. So
right, but I don't want to hit. This is my methodology. I'm scared to hit select all and then delete it all because I can go to the search box and type in certain things and it'll pull it up. And if I've deleted it all, I can't find it.
I feel like I would have to go to my computer.
You probably would.
And
you'd have to be on your Wi-Fi because it's going to take a minute.
By the time I get to my computer, I forgot.
Now, like certain things that I know are junk, I will type in at the top, and then I'll just delete them.
Right, yeah.
But my mother, it's your aunt's birthday,
Right. Now, see, like, then things like that, you can't go in and,
right,
delete that.
Church,
But anyway, listen, I want you guys to know that we appreciate you for being here. There are about 500 people watching. Please hit the like button. Let me see how many people hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. Hit the subscribe button.
If you got a person for Scott, send it to Craig.
No. Don't go to my website.
Buy a book first.
Right. His Instagram is Scott Allen Bogan. Go on over to his Instagram. Do you look at your DMs?
Yeah, I read them. I just told you I cleaned up.
All right, so go over to his Instagram. If you ain't got Instagram, I don't know what to tell you.
I got Snapchat.
Please don't go to CraigTheWriterStewart.com.
Email Craig and buy a book.
If you email me asking about him, I'm gonna say, well, where's your money for your book?
But then you got 10,000 unread emails.
I don't even know what these are though. That's the thing.
Dude, look, nobody started following me. I'll have to do.
Can y'all follow Scott over here on Instagram?
Oh wait, I do have a request. Let's see.
You probably got to type it in the chat box.
5 minutes ago.
Oh,
Hey, Scott, I hope you were well. I saw you on Craig's YouTube page. You are very smart and handsome. I would love to have a conversation with you and learn and share things about ourselves. You don't have any pictures. You don't have any pictures. Who is this? There's no name here.
Oh my God.
So they're catfishing me. Are you catfishing me?
There's no name here. And this was just sent 5 minutes ago.
Well, this person has their own
Look,
eBay store.
look, send us a message again so we can send us.
They have their own eBay store.
They have their own eBay store.
Oh, wow.
Are you local? We don't know where you are. Welcome to my IG page. I'm a reseller on eBay, and I thank you in advance for your support and of my business. Please feel free to comment and share.
Scott, what's your Instagram name?
It's Scott Allen Bogan, my full name.
Whoever you are, you have not followed me on Instagram, but you want to. I'm gonna need you to follow me on Instagram.
We're not the person of interest.
But you still need to follow me on Instagram.
Well, they follow you on YouTube.
Look, right about Marie talking about why are you reading his DMs?
Ain't nothing in there to read.
Look, the Max Trans said he came in as a ghost. He came in as a ghost. Come on, somebody.
Oh, he's cute.
Who's cute? Scott, he using your phone to follow himself on Instagram. So Ryan just followed himself on Scott's Instagram. I know that's right.
You can follow me on Instagram.
Is Ryan following me back?
Ryan, you need to.
I just got it.
Where's
I'm on Instagram. You can follow
request?
me.
Who?
Ryan's. Oh, you already hit follow on Ryan's.
Yeah,
he has to hit follow. Oh, he just followed you back.
Okay.
I know how to work.
Oh, I did get follows on here.
There he is. Oh, you do have follows.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody. Let me see if you got any. Wait a minute. Who is this? Oh, there's Carlton Ash. Let me see if Carlton, if you ain't following me, we blocking you from Scott's Instagram.
Why they gotta follow you?
Carlton D. Ash, you didn't follow me on Instagram. How you gonna follow
No, he doesn't follow
Because
me.
I'm looking right here. I'm looking at his followers. And I'm not there.
You're not there.
Go Carlton Ash. Yeah, you got quite a few followers over here.
Elliot back there working.
Elliot back there pretending Elliot pretending he working. You know where I would like to go?
I'm trying to understand, why is this empty already?
What's empty?
This plug-in.
I know.
Did you just plug it in?
This is not the same one. We did a Bath and Body Works.
That's been going. That's one of the ones that Carlton gave me. We need to go out to, you know where we need to go? We need to go out to Phoenix, Arizona.
For what?
For the
I've been to
spa.
Phoenix.
For the spa. Well, maybe that's more Scottsdale.
I've been to Scottsdale.
I've been
to where's the place with the vortex? Where the
Mike, where's the place with the vortex?
The Red Door Spa is Sedona. I've been to Sedona.
I'll tell the people they can follow me.
You just said you act like you didn't want them to have your
He
Instagram.
sure did.
Right. You didn't want them to have your Instagram when I asked you earlier. I asked you what your Instagram was. You didn't want to send them give them your Instagram.
Ryan Eric 5.
His Instagram is Ryan Eric 5. The number 5. RYANERIC 5.
I don't know what that is.
But yeah, we need to take. They say Sedona. They all agreeing it's Sedona.
It's Jeff and I went to Sedona.
Oh, okay. Instagram names, please. This is Scott Allen Bogan. Scott ALLEN BOGAN. Scott Allen Bogan. Ryan Eric 5. Mine is Craig the Writer Stewart. That's the same on everything. Instagram is Craig the. YouTube is Craig the Writer. I know. I'm trying to see what you looking at. I can look at your phone.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
There ain't nothing on.
Mike, you on Instagram? What's your Instagram? Follow me on Instagram. I think Mike is following me on Instagram. What's your Instagram, Mike? Mike W.
You gotta show him the pastor.
Oh, I ain't never shown him that.
We gotta go offline.
Who is it? Who is it right here?
I don't know. He's a model.
He has a nice body.
He does have a nice body.
He's a model and he's 18.
He's 19. Let me get off his page. Good night and good luck.
I'm always scared of like people
Maybe
that are
he lives
18
in
and
Ghana.
19 because that's like, what if you just increase your age from 16
Right.
and then I'm in jail?
Oh, what about they are like under 18?
I know.
Aisha Green says she added you both. Let me see, Mike
What
Watts.
do? You said you work in HR?
I work for myself. I do HR for physicians that are friends of mine actually.
Mike, you don't even post. The last time you posted was February 1st, but I followed you.
Oh, you do?
Mike ain't posting since February 1st.
Oh, wow.
He loves showing his little stomach.
Not little. You got a nice stomach.
Mike is in Phoenix,
Oh, okay.
Arizona.
What's the diet? Can I get a diet?
Did he invite us out there to go to Sedona?
He did say something. Come on. He said, yes, come on out here.
All right.
I need a diet.
How far is Sedona from
It's like a 2
Tanny?
hour,
Let me see,
2 hour drive.
It's 2 hours
I
from
think something like that. We had to drive, and we stayed in Scottsdale.
Tanny Joy, what's your Instagram? I'll follow you back. Cheryl, she said she just followed you. Ryan's Instagram is Ryan. No, is it Ryan? Ryan Eric 5.
Yeah.
Ryan Eric 5. RyanEric, the number 5. Wait, Mike, you 48? Mike is. Let me tell you something. Somebody.
Is that that dude with the body?
Yes, he's 48. I'm gonna tell you what somebody.
Is Mike single?
Mike, you're single, aren't you? Mike is single.
Oh wow.
Byrick said he followed. My girl Christy said she followed you guys.
Wait, I'm still on Mike. Like Mike.
Ryan is not a noob. That's Mike right there.
Mike is cute.
He said he's 40. You're 48.
Why do you have a scale? You don't weigh yourself.
I don't weigh myself often, but he'll be 49 this year, he said.
Wow. He looks good.
Yeah, Mike lives in Phoenix.
Is this the new thing now?
What? I don't know what this is. Well, I say he fine as he want to be. Let me show you.
You don't know him?
No, he a former NFL player. You follow him?
I know NFL. Hello, I love sports.
Oh, you know who that is? He fine as he want to be. Do you hear me? He is fine as he wants to be.
Elliot is really in there working.
That's his fiance.
On a Friday.
You follow him?
It's 6:30. Why is Elliot still working at 6:30?
I don't know why Elliott's still working at 6:30.
On a Friday.
Because he wasn't doing work earlier.
Come on, Lenny from West Baltimore. Where you? What's your zip code? I grew up in 21215.
People actually claim Baltimore.
That's shady.
What happened?
You really tried it.
I'm just trying to understand. When's the last time?
She from 21215.
When's the last time you went home?
When was that last home? December. It's only March.
It was not December.
I went home in December because we had a gay like me conversation in DC, and I went and got my mother and brought her down here. That's when she came.
You were home for what? One day?
I was home for 2 days.
Did you get to see anything? No.
I showed Carlton around because he had never been to Baltimore.
And you're going to Youngstown.
What you do? Take him up, take him around the block, come back around.
Ryan, be quiet.
Carlton's gonna
Come on, East Baltimore. Listen, I went to City. That's 21228, I think. 21228. Yes, it was December because my girl Marie drove up from Richmond to DC.
There's certain parts of Baltimore.
Be careful. He said he trying to. My girl Mimi Parker said she followed you both on Instagram. But you know what? Derek and I, when we really get together and try to do another Gay Like Me conversation live, like this will be one of those great conversations, and maybe we could bring y'all. Would y'all be scared to be on stage and talk? Like
with
with
a microphone?
with a microphone. Ryan might. We'll bring y'all in. We'll fly y'all in, and you know what I'm saying, do the whole thing. Have a little.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, I'm not.
I think that would be great.
I'll do it for Derek.
You know what? Listen, you guys have an amazing weekend. You guys, I had to put him out of the camera. You guys have an amazing. Come on, 20742, University of Maryland.
Anybody from Ohio?
I'm from Ohio.
What
Scott
part?
is from Ohio.
I was born in Youngstown.
Where Carlton is from.
You're from Dayton?
Ryan is from Dayton.
I know people from Dayton.
Youngstown. We used to call that one street in, one street out.
Carlton D. said he enjoyed this. Carlton, you need to go over to Instagram and follow me.
Why do you gotta follow me? How do you even know? You got so many
I
followers.
looked over here.
But he follows you on YouTube, right?
I want him to follow me everywhere.
You had too many of these.
I sure have. I need something to eat.
Ryan Readers.
Do we need something to eat?
Probably.
I know Ryan probably ain't trying to eat nothing.
Are you on a diet?
I'm not.
Yeah, he forever on the diet. I don't know how this thing survived. He must have a feeding tube or something.
Where is Carlton now that I think about it?
He probably still at work. He just texted me. He texted me about an hour ago, but I just noticed it. He texted 5:40.
Oh, we gotta go help somebody move?
Uh-oh.
You know what? You shady.
So
The fact that you would do that right here. No, don't try to act innocent now. Don't try to act innocent now. You see?
That's what I thought.
Mariah, she's from Dayton as well.
Really? Dayton is a great place.
Dayton is nice.
Ryan, you tried it.
But just don't go back. I need for Elliot to stop.
Ryan ain't shit, right? Somebody said Ryan.
Somebody said that.
Ryan ain't shit. And then somebody said Ryan is hilarious. He ain't shit. Now he know we supposed to only talk about that over there on the Patreon.
But we talked about it on here.
But I thought you were taking.
But I didn't say any names.
You did not.
I didn't say any names.
She didn't say it.
I have a friend that I thought we were helping.
But the people that are on Patreon know exactly what we talking about.
Oh, you mentioned names on Patreon.
For sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For sure.
You can't take me to court because I didn't say no names.
Patreon is unadulterated.
I didn't say no name.
So you told the full story.
Sure did.
Oh, wow.
And I need to update you when I close this. Because I got to update them on Patreon. But he called me today with something else. But anyway, listen. You guys have an amazing weekend.
Why keep getting out the frame?
Carla, because I don't know if I want to be bothered with you. Look. Carla said, Ryan, I love you. But anyway, listen. You guys have an amazing weekend. Look, Marie talking about leave Patreon business over there. So I said, please just go live over there right now. Look at Latanya. Look at Marie. Talking about go live on Patreon. Hey, Adrian Love. But listen, you guys have an amazing weekend. Hopefully we said something that you learned from.
Don't ghost people.
Please stop ghosting people.
And don't take it personally if you are.
No, that's some bullshit. That's some personal shit. That's some energy that I now have to do something.
You have
so
to do
it's
something
personal.
Like that.
Yeah. Like be accountable for the energy that you bring, right? And own that shit. And just say, hey, I'm sorry, but something came up. It's as simple as that. You don't even have to explain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like just don't.
Be a grown up.
Right. Be an adult.
Be a grown up.
Put your bootstraps on. And
Yep. And what is brush your teeth, brush your tongue, whatever.
Brush your teeth,
and
floss
say
your
what the fuck you need to say,
Right.
and don't ghost people with no foul breath.
And that's the end of that. You guys have an amazing weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.